So work your way onto your mat, hands and knees, and we'll start to ease out the spine by circling the hips. So to start off, we'll take the hips back towards the heels, and then slowly start to move the hips around in circles and rotations. So you're moving further away from the wrists here and then over to the side. Coming forward, move the hips forward and down, and then out to the side. And you could even move your hands a little bit further forward. So you can really start to stretch and lengthen. And then you'll probably get a couple of clicks and cracks as the hips are starting to move and open and releasing tight spots and tension. So change your direction now. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then just pause here with your hips in front, and just roll the shoulders back and press down into your hands. And then bring the chin down to your chest and arch the spine. You're going to bring your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders now. Cat-cow. Rotate the hips behind you, stretch your belly and look forward. Exhale, hugging in. Inhale. Exhale, arching the spine, spreading the shoulder blades. And inhale, rotating the hips the other way. Stretching the belly down towards the ground. And then come back to a flat back. Stretch the right leg behind you. Lift the leg off the ground. And then tuck the knee in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, tuck in. Two more. Bring the knee down. Switch over sides. Movement and breath, exhaling here as you tuck the knee in. Inhale, stretching out. Beautiful, last one. And then bring the knees down. Tuck your toes under, take a downward facing dog, raise the hips. Bend one knee at a time. Bring the hips up nice and high, but maybe moving away from the wrists. You could lengthen, move the hands a little bit further forward, make more space between the hands and the feet. Let your head relax in between your arms. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Bring the knees down. Sit back on your heels, and your arms out in front and circle the hands. Rotate the other way. Open and close. Okay, go back. Now you're going to bring the left elbow down and start circling the right knee. You could turn your chest to the right, opening and closing. 3, 2, and 1. Now go back the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, And one. Give the leg a stretch out. And then bring the knee down. Good. Switch over sides. Right elbow comes down. Have the hand on an angle. It will just create a little bit more stability for you. Circling the left knee. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then change. Beautiful. And then stretch the leg out behind you. And then bring the knee down. Let's come onto both of the elbows now. Interlace your fingers. Dolphin pose. Slight variation here to your downward facing dog. Just giving the wrists a bit of a rest. This is always an option if you have sore wrists, weakness in the wrists, or any injury. Tuck your toes under and lift the knees. Now let the head hang in between your arms. Bring both of the knees a little. Lift the sit bones, bring the chest closer towards the thighs and breathe. Stretch one heel down towards the ground and then the other. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Bring the knees down. Again, sit back on your heels. Bring the arms up above your head this time and circle the arms. Change direction. Beautiful. Bring the arms down. Return to your hands and knees. And this time, we're going to take the right leg out to the side. Inhale, lift the arm up. And exhale, sweep it through. Inhale and open. And exhale. In. Exhale. We'll do one more. Inhale. And great. Bring the hand back. And then you're going to slide the leg all the way over to your left. So you're going to cross over the thigh, look towards the foot, and then slide the leg all the way back so it's in line with your hip. We're going to do that again 4 more times. Slide the leg all the way around and then draw it back. Slide it around, look at the foot and point your toes. And back. Again. Back. One more time. And back. Very nice. All right, bring the knee back in. Take a cat-cow. Go back to neutral spine. And then stretch the left leg out. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, feed it through. Inhale. And exhale. In. Exhale. In. And exhale. Right. Bring the hand back. Slide the leg all the way over to the right. Point your toes. Look at your foot. Just notice what is going on here. It's a quick stretch for the left side of your waist, perhaps over the hip. And then guide the leg all the way back. The heel comes down, the foot is down. And then again, slide it across. And return. Slide it across. And return. 2 more. Warming and toning the core, the obliques. Beautiful. All right, bring the leg back. And bring the knee down. All right, tuck your toes under. We'll take downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Notice how you feel each time you come back into your down dog, perhaps having a slightly different experience in between different asanas, different exercises, focusing on the hips, focusing on the legs. Great, so come up high on the toes, down on the heels. And again, come up high on the toes, down on the heels. Lovely, one more time. And bring the knees down. Take the knees out wide now, bring the big toes together, sit back on the heels. Shoulders. If the hips are not sitting down on the heels, you can always grab a cushion or your yoga block, place that underneath your heels, filling gaps. All right. Walk the hands over to the right. Place the left hand on top. Walk the hands over to the left. Bring the right hand on top. And then walk the hands back to the center, push back. So you're sitting upright. Bring the knees closer together and sit down. Cushion away. All right, lay yourself down on your back. Palms face down. Have the feet underneath your knees and lift the hips to bridge pose. Inhale, rolling down. Exhale and lift. Inhale. And exhale. And pause here. Clasp your hands underneath. See if you can move your elbows closer in, squeezing the shoulders in. The arms straight. Press down into the earth, down into the ground to root. Hear and feel your breath. Leaving your navel rising. Breath out falling. One more. Release your arms. Roll the spine down. Bring the knees into your chest. Open and close the knees in circles. Opposite direction. Lovely, and then take the arms away from you. Keep the knees together. Lower them over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Try to keep the left shoulder on the ground, or as much of it on the ground as possible. 3 breaths. Bring the knees back to the center and over to the left. head to the right. You can use your hand, your left hand on top of your knees. Nice. Bring the knees back and place your feet on the ground. Okay. Final pose. If you have a belt, grab your belt. Final hamstring stretch. Now, this actually is not only a hamstring stretch, it's a great stretch out for your neck as well. So you want to have a belt that's looped, a long loop. Have the buckle out to the side there, because you don't want to put that behind your head. That would be uncomfortable. So the belt goes behind the head, not your neck. You want it just at the base of your occipital, base of your head, skull. And it's a little bit of experimenting here. See what feels good for you. You want to lean back a little, then you'll get more of a stretch in the leg and the hamstrings. If you want to push the foot further away, then you're going to get a little bit more lengthening in your neck. Now it's up to you here. If you have this the right leg bent, you can keep the foot on the ground. And if you start to stretch it out, you might find that sensations become a little bit more intense, perhaps more satisfying. Maybe you can relax a little bit more into the pose. Turn the palms to face up, and you can close your eyes. Switch over sides. So you can stay here in this pose for as long as you like. For me, it's a very restorative pose, and I could stay for about 5 minutes on each side, I think. You can switch over sides, perhaps do an aerial transition. It's always nice to hold on to the belt, actually, as you make that shift. Just to say, if you don't have a belt, you can take an alternative position here. You could lay on your back and rest your feet on a chair, or you could swing your legs around and take them up the wall, legs up the wall pose. A restorative pose, taking the legs higher than the heart. Coming out when you're ready. Just remove the belt now. Lay yourself on your back, keep your knees bent, place your hands on your abdomen. Take a couple of breaths here to feel the breath behind your hands. And then you can lay yourself onto one side. And come up and join me in seated position. So I hope you enjoyed that practice, focusing on the hips, opening up the spine, opening up the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, and also working into the hips. So if you suffer with tight hips, with stiffness, if you sit a lot or drive a lot, working at a computer, all of that where you're fixed in a position, or perhaps you have a job that requires you to be very physical, and you end up with achy hips at the end of the day. Give this a go. See how you get on. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.